So it's definitely around your windows is really where we're seeing it.
Okay.
Otherwise, everything's most part staying in that purple blue range.
So mostly you're just measuring the surface temperature.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is all looking pretty good on the front. Those aluminum windows are definitely where we're seeing that temperature rise
So you're getting,
from 35 to 38. So it's a 2-degree
38.
temperature difference.
you know what, I can raise those things, but because you're probably measuring those
That is
shades.
possible as well. But I mean, even this window, we're looking at same thing, 34 to 38.
Okay.
Yeah, this window's definitely bad because it's reading at 44, 45.
Okay. Good to know.
So,
Replace it.
yeah. If that's something that you care to do.
This one not so bad then?
Yeah, that one's not as bad. We're sitting at about 37 on it.
Okay. But the lower one is real bad. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Is
good
there
to
a heat register next to it?
No.
Okay. Yeah, so you can see it's sitting around 39, and as soon as I drop it down to this window, 45. Door is sitting at about 39. Nothing really bad coming out. Maybe a little bit more where that siding is dipped down,
Yeah.
but not really enough for us to get a good temperature differential.
Okay.
Obviously, this window that's open, you can
It's
definitely see
open?
that heat
Yeah,
loss.
right.
That's where all your heat's going.
I know,
man.
it's all in her office.
How long have you guys had this place?
11 years now.
11 years? Okay.
Yeah.
Not too bad. You just been having a lot of heat loss, or?
Well, I'm always cold. It's weird because like the thermostat says it's 72, and I'm like, damn, I'm cold. So I don't know what that's about.
Yeah.
I bet that door is no good. We actually put that door there. There wasn't a door there before,
Oh, really?
and we didn't, think about heating or anything when we
Right.
chose it. Single pane.
Yeah, it's sitting right around 43. Siding sitting around 37. So it seems like most of your heat loss is going to be your windows. Looks like you do have a little bit more of a heat loss here out of this hole, but that's because it goes through the insulation layer.
Okay.
So you're going to have a little bit of heat loss there.
So I don't know anything about houses. So the insulation, that if I were going to like improve my insulation, it would actually be replace the siding and the outside insulation.
You could do that. I mean, you could even possibly fill that hole up with like some like spray insulation.
Yeah, but I mean it's not just that hole, but like in general. But so the
To replace the insulation under the siding, yeah.
yeah, but the windows are more of an issue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, it's going to be every house is going to have heat loss through its windows. It's just, the fact that glass is not well insulated.
Right.
We do everything that we can to insulate them with the two panes and the gas in between.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it does okay. It's still not going to be as good as a layer of insulation.
Right. Well, that window's like a newer window, so
right,
that should.
and you're sitting at about 40, so you got less loss out of these vinyl windows than you do your aluminum ones.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is part of the, big reason to upgrade to vinyl.
Yeah. Okay.
And then yeah, it's just your concrete footing, and there's no insulation really back in it. You're going up a little bit more, so you're losing a little bit of heat through the foundation.
Okay.
Again, kind of a typical thing, because concrete, you know, it's insulated, but it's not like fiberglass or actual, you know, insulation. Guess we'll have to run down to the other side to get over there.
Yeah, it's a mess over there.
Wouldn't be a true Seattle home if the yard wasn't a little overgrown.
Right.
Oh, that's a bee.
That's weird.
Right?
What's he doing out? I guess he didn't make it either, did he?
No, not very well. He's like, I'm gonna go for a flight. Nope. Yeah, and so same thing along here on this foundation wall. A little bit of extra heat loss there, sitting, encroaching up on 40.
Okay. It's always really cold downstairs.
Yeah, well, I mean, basements are going to be naturally cooler
Yeah.
because of that fact.
Yeah.
You know, the ground temperature won't always match the exterior temperature, you know, of outside,
Right.
until you'll have that fluctuation in heat. Unless like the basement is really well insulated. You're
Right,
gonna
for
have a
that
little
you
bit
put
of
the
heat loss.
insulation on the inside.
Yes, yes. And typically, you know, that's where it usually will go. There are ways around it, depending if you actually have like plywood and then your siding, then you would have to do it from the inside typically. Or what you could do is they come through and they drill holes along the tops
Right.
and the bottoms of your siding, and they spray insulation in from the top, and it goes down, comes out the bottom hole, seal up the holes, and then your walls are insulated.
I feel like this siding wouldn't even handle that. It's very
Yeah, it's
brittle.
Yeah. Just a quick tip: I take this off.
Oh yeah.
That's a fire hazard.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, and it's always full.
yeah. Yeah. We don't recommend the grid covers on it. The flapper vent's enough on its own.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll just put it right here then.
There you go.
Problem solved.
Hired me for one thing, got some extra tips.
Yeah.
Alright.
How's this garage door? You checked it, right?
Guarantee it's probably not very well.
Yeah.
And it's sitting at like 39, 38. So
Okay.
it's a little bit higher, but I mean the garage isn't heated either, so.
Well, it's not supposed to be. It is though, because
The furnace.
yeah, there's a duct that goes through it, and we
It'll
keep
get
the
a little
door
bit
to
of
it
ambient
open.
heat come through.
Yeah.
And then do you want me to wear a mask inside?
I don't have one on me, and I'm not too worried about it.
Okay.
If you aren't,
I'm not worried about it.
we're all gonna get Omicron, so.
Yeah, I've already had it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't, but
Yeah. I'll
When
tell you,
that-
the worst part about it is the body aches.
yeah, you just were sick for a little while. Right?
Yeah. It's like a bad head cold with body aches.
Yeah.
I don't know about the extent for me.
Yeah, I'm not too worried. I don't want it. But
Right. No one wants to be sick.
Right. So we did have somebody spray some insulation into the attic earlier when we were here. So
Okay.
I don't know if we can do better. Like if you can maybe pop up.
So
there.
here, check this out. So this light fixture,
Yeah.
they probably didn't put a whole lot of insulation around it up in the attic, so you get these cold spots.
Oh, interesting. You wouldn't expect a light to be cold.
Right. This way, It is also looking like it's got a bit of a cold spot near it. And same with this one. So that is one of the issues with can lights, is you'll get cold spots. So this
Okay.
one in the kitchen doesn't have it. It's because the light fixtures are shut into the ceiling and they don't necessarily cover them up
Gotcha.
with insulation.
Okay.
It's actually where I typically see insulation missing. Looks like we might have another little bit of a cold spot over here in the corner. Pretty common again because they're not able to stuff a whole lot of insulation down in those corners. That's really looking where we're seeing our big differences, is right in the corners.
Like that, all the way up to the edge, because you can't probably get in there because the pitch is too low, right?
Yep, that's exactly it. So they're not able to put enough insulation down there to keep it leveled with the rest of the home. So you're going to be losing a little bit of heat out of the corners of your walls. You can actually almost kind of see the rafters as well here.
Yeah, that's
Um,
crazy.
Yeah, it's what you get for $500 on a tool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. No, so yeah, you're definitely losing a little bit of heat on the outer edges. I'd say probably about here is where I'm starting to see
Starts
that kind
to
of
change.
cut, and that's just because that pitch is still so low.
Yeah. Can I see something real quick? Just so it's like visible. Like there's this crack here. Hadn't noticed this before. But a little buckling there. So you think this part of the house is settling a little bit?
It might be a little bit. Also, judging on the spacing, the spans, could also be where the drywall butts up.
The seams.
Yeah. And they didn't do a good job of seaming it, because typically they'll cut a section here and then just put a piece across
Okay.
the top. So it could be that, could be a little bit of settlement. Drywall cracks are completely normal in a home.
Okay.
I see them on brand new construction.
Got you.
So yeah, that's really where I'm seeing your heat loss, is in the corners.
Okay.
Because like if we do right here in the center of the home where you have that peak, we're not really seeing any except right there. 60, 68 down to, yeah, so a little bit of a temperature difference right there. And then again, on those outer corners. Oh, that's also because there's a window right there.
Yeah. So it's really no big surprises except for that one window by the door is a surprise. So.
Yeah. And then yeah, just the corners, the edges. That's really where I'm seeing the biggest temperature differential.
Okay.
Especially right in like this corner,
Yeah.
down to 61 there.
Okay.
So I think we'll go down to the basement and see how the basement walls are doing.
Can feel it getting colder.
Doing some remodeling, huh?
No, well, not by choice.
Oh, by the flooding?
Yeah.
So what exactly happened there?
4 inches of water came in after it snowed,
Right.
and then it rained like 3 inches of rain in a few days. That was the first time we've ever.
Did you
flooded.
see where it came from?
Yeah, it came from this crack in this. It came from here, believe it or not.
Oh.
It came up through that.
Really?
You can almost kind of see it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see it's a little bit damper there. 4 inches of water came from just that crack, huh?
Well, I think so. I mean, by the time we had 4 inches of water, it had connected itself out to a pool at the bottom of the driveway. But this is where, I mean, this was the entry point. So I'm obviously gonna have to do drainage work.
Right. Great system for that is French drains.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, man, they made these like short little stubby walls.
I know.
So typically, nowadays you'd see them actually put the studs this way, which would have allowed that extra room for insulation. So that's also why your basement is so much colder, is because instead of having 4 inches of room for insulation, you now have 2.
It's empty anyway.
Yeah. So that's your biggest heat
So
loss.
I, like, if I wanna be warmer down here, I might actually just spring for taking these out and,
Yeah.
you know,
No, absolutely.
making the wall thicker,
Mm-hmm.
put the insulation in.
Yeah. I mean, it might take, a couple inches off, but I mean, a couple inches to have a better insulated
No, I'm
home.
more worried about what it would cost, but yeah.
Right now, ridiculous. You wait a while, you might be better off.
Really?
Oh,
How long? Just because of the demand?
So with all the COVID shutdowns,
Yeah.
lumber, the milling processes and everything went way down, and so lumber prices went rocketing.
Okay.
I mean, and there's such a material shortage right now that I've been going to new constructions and seeing homes that are just about to hit their 1-year review that still don't even have their brick siding.
Oh my God.
Like, that's how bad it is. And I've seen like 2x4s that I would have personally thrown in the junk pile being put into homes, and I'm going, really? You're missing half of your 2x4 there. So
That's not encouraging.
no, the lumber that's coming out at this moment in time is really kind of on the iffy side.
That sucks. Because this was my office, and now I don't have an office, and I
Right.
want to get shit done. This looks pretty benign. This mold.
Yeah, so that's actually called efflorescence,
Okay.
and what it is it's a it's a mineral deposit on the foundation.
Oh, okay.
Because water naturally has minerals in it, so it's just a mineral depositing left on the foundation. It could be from a little bit of water intrusion through your foundation as well, or it could have been the 4 inches of water you had standing
That's
down
about
there,
how deep it was. Yeah.
which would be right about that level.